Hey, what's up, pop-up campers? Welcome back to It's Poppin', where we talk about everything pop-up camper related. So this video is going to be another really quick, short how-to video on how to both get your furnace or your propane heater, as well as your air conditioner in your pop-up camper working. So the first thing with either of these is going to be making sure a few things are connected and hooked up. So first of all, for the propane furnace, of course you're going to need propane in your cylinder, and you're going to want to make sure that that propane cylinder or tank is turned on. And then as far as the air conditioner is concerned, make sure that you're plugged in, as a general rule of thumb, to a 30 amp receptacle. Now, if you're not plugged into 30 amps, there are some exceptions to that rule. And we have a whole video dedicated to that topic. So if you want to learn more about hooking your pop-up camper so you can at least test out your air conditioner at home, definitely check out that video. So like I said in the beginning, make sure you have your propane turned on. And another quick tip, make sure you turn it on kind of nice and slowly. Otherwise you can kind of freeze out your propane tank and you'll have to disconnect it and restart again. So open it up nice and slowly. So at least in our pop-up camper, we have a Honeywell thermostat. Now, a small caveat, this thermostat was a replacement from our old nasty looking tan thermostat that came original with the pop-up. But this is a very simple, essentially on-off, heat-only thermostat where all you have to do is slide the lever here from left to right and it'll click on. And as you may have heard there, the thermostat, or sorry, not the thermostat, but the heater fan kicked right on there. So some of you might also have a thermostat that has a separate on-off switch, maybe on the left side or something like that, but it may be a separate on-off switch other than your temperature control, which is slightly different than the thermostat we have. So once you turn on your thermostat, either with the on-off switch and then setting your thermostat to your desired temperature, you're going to notice that your furnace fan will initially start to blow. And the reason it does that is it wants to clear out any, I guess, will it be propane fumes essentially. It wants to clear everything out, so it's going to blow it out before it attempts to ignite. So you're going to hear that furnace blower kick on right away, but it might be maybe 30 seconds or so before the actual furnace ignites. And once that furnace does ignite, you're going to see the flame right through this little window here into the burn chamber. And an indice of a well-functioning furnace is that the flame in there is a nice blue flame. Now, if you guys have a suburban manufactured furnace or propane heater like we do in our pop-up camper, you may find that your furnace has an on-off switch contained within the furnace behind that faceplate, which essentially is a toggle switch literally to turn on and off the furnace, and which allows it to run. So if you find that your furnace fan isn't kicking on when you go to turn on your thermostat and such, it may be because that on-off switch is not on. And one more thing regarding your furnace or propane heater. Keep in mind that not only do you need propane, but you also need some sort of power to power that fan. Now, it is a 12-volt fan, so of course it will work on your 12-volt battery if you have one hooked up. The alternative, if you don't have a battery and you're not boondocking, meaning you have shore power, your furnace, of course, will also work when you're plugged into shore power. So just make sure you have one or the other as far as a means of powering your fan. Let's move on to the rooftop air conditioner. Now, these are pretty simple. As long as you are plugged into shore power, there's only really a few things you need to do to get them going. And the first thing you're going to do is make sure your rooftop air conditioner is plugged in within the camper, if that's something that needs to be unplugged and replugged every time you take down and pop up your pop-up. So our pop-up camper has a dedicated 20 amp outlet and of course a dedicated 20 amp plug, which plugs right into that outlet. Once you're plugged in, you're going to come up here to your rooftop air conditioner and you've essentially got two knobs that you're going to deal with. So the first knob here is going to control either your fan speed and or if you want to actually utilize the air conditioner capabilities of your rooftop air conditioner. And the second knob we have right here, essentially, I think, at least from my testing, it kind of, I guess you kind of have a low cool or a high cool, if you will. When I actuate this, it clicks off right there, and then it clicks on. So best I can tell, it's not like a nice graduated, you know, cool, colder, coldest. It's kind of two different levels of cold, if I had to guess. But what you're gonna do in order to turn on your air conditioner is actuate the one that has the fan settings on it. So you'll see we have low fan, and then low fan again for whatever redundancy, and then we have high fan. Now that's just gonna affect your fan speed or the speed of the air coming out of your air conditioner. To actually utilize your air conditioner cooling capabilities, you're gonna have to turn it to either low cool or high cool. Now, low cool is gonna have a low fan speed, but you're gonna have air conditioner capabilities. And then of course, high cool is going to be a high fan setting while also utilizing air conditioner facilities. So that's essentially what you can do. You can either have low cool, high cool, or low fan, high fan. Once again, I have no idea why there's two low fan settings, but I guess there are. Now, if you're having some troubles with your air conditioner, so let's say you're plugged into shore power, your 30 amp connection, and then you also plugged in your 20 amp for your air conditioner. If it's still not turning on, what are some things you might want to check? So the first thing I would check, I would come over to your electrical converter here, open that up, and double check to make sure your 20 amp breaker is still on. So if your air conditioner still isn't working, one final spot to check might be the 30 amp electrical hookup post. You'll find there that there's usually a circuit breaker or two there that might be flipped off for whatever reason. So that might be a place to just double check if your air conditioner isn't working. All right, guys, so that's essentially the basics of your pop-up camper furnace or propane heater, as well as your rooftop air conditioner. Now, I find it really helpful if I'm having some troubles with either of those appliances, essentially, is to consult the particular owner's manual for whatever that specific appliance is. So there's a lot of different manufacturers for both, like I said, the heaters as well as air conditioners. So that's my first go-to. But if we can be of help, if you guys have any specific questions for us, definitely let us know in the comments. But it is really helpful to know what specific brand and make whatever appliance you're having troubles with is, if you can't find any help within your owner's manual. And as always, guys, the best way to support our channel, if you guys find any value or entertainment from our videos, is to subscribe. And hopefully we see you in the next video. If not, hopefully we see you out there camping.